Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin for our charts. So yes, Bitcoin was supported at this support area. The inflation number came in slightly better than expected, which better than expected, even slightly itself is good on the basis that most of the inflation numbers that we've been having recently have been coming out worse than expected. So just the fact that we're better than expected and not worse than expected, or should I say just the fact we're not worse than expected, was obviously a big shift in obviously just the optics of that number. So yeah, that is good. And obviously on a rate of change basis, we are decelerating now. Whether it is sustainable going forwards, we shall have to see, but it was a pretty significant change in the rate of change of the number. So yeah, I mean, it was going to take something particularly good to get these markets continuing to rally and pump, because a lot of people obviously been pricing in a turnaround in that number. So for the number to come in even better than what the market priced in and to pump is clearly a very good sign. But yeah, as you can see, Bitcoin though approaching these recent highs. Obviously we've got a nice higher low, and then we're now going to try and put in a higher high. Obviously this mid 26k region on the cards. I guess this trend line is resistance, mid 26k as resistance, mid 28k as resistance, then obviously 30k. I mean, until we get some other data points that are gonna throw a spanner in the works, and we've already seen that a phenomenally higher jobs number wasn't enough to throw the spanners in the works. It's obviously going to take something. It's obviously going to take something pretty bad, and I guess that would be. I guess that thing that is bad would be just the inflation number, basically not looking as good for the next print, basically. I mean, that is about it. I mean, the Fed can come out and speak, but people pretty much know the Fed is not going to have to necessarily worry about inflation so much for the time being, because of its trajectory. And obviously if it I mean, at some point, if it keeps dropping like this, they are going to have to then be cognizant of the undershoot, and then literally going into a deflation. But yeah, but we're a long way from that, so we'll worry about that later. But yeah, obviously Bitcoin looking good here. The stock market obviously looking good. Did flirt around with this resistance area for a while, but is above all these highs now. So yeah, looking particularly good. Got some more levels to take out before it becomes relatively a high probability that this is going to be the low. So yeah, that's not looking bad. The DXY taking a whack down on that as well. Just the relative trade, obviously, between just the central bank arbitrage between obviously Fed tightening, Japan not tightening, and Europe not able to tighten as much, was hitting obviously strengthening the DXY up, but that now seems to be unwinding. There is still a massive short in the yen that will need to unwind, and yeah, if things start to ease in Europe, this could come down extremely fast. If we get an unwind of obviously the yen, which have a knock-on effect with the unwinding of obviously the short euro trade as well, and then yeah, push this down, and that would continue to give risk assets a significant tailwind. What else? The Ethereum USD pairing looking good, broken through this resistance area into this little bit of price action here, getting to areas where just get into areas where it can start to look where it can let me just sort this out here. Here we go. Get into areas where it could look like we're definitely putting a low. Could definitely, is that even work as a sentence? But yeah, basically getting above here, above 2000, and then yeah, I mean, this would be ideal as well, but I think it's starting to look pretty good here, and obviously we know we have catalysts, positive catalysts. The Ethereum Satoshi pairing also, as you can see by this chart, looking very good here. did break below, and now, so if it does, if it has an what is, I forgot what it's called now, just an a descending, no, sorry, a broadening, it's not like a broadening wedge, but just a broadening out of the pattern. We did come lower, and then we can potentially come higher here. But yeah, we're above pretty much the last important level of resistance here, pretty much. This does open up, obviously, moves to up here, and then relative blue skies. I mean, we can have a look at where we are in relation to all-time highs, and obviously we're not quite at that yet, but this is a long time ago. I would say that this air zone is relative blue skies now, even though we've obviously been up there. So yes, looking good here for a break up into here, and obviously here at 1.5 is basically where the flipping is, because we did ever so briefly flip Bitcoin at that point. Look, as you can see there. So yeah, not bad. Obviously the Bitcoin dominance. Well, actually, Ether side, obviously other altcoins are not doing as well. I mean, I personally think there's a lot of value to come out of the old L1s, because they're basically surplus to requirements now. They were always just interim trash, whilst we were going to wait for L2s to be the actual lower fee chains. So yeah, I mean, obviously other altcoins are struggling, even though ETH is doing better against Bitcoin. So Bitcoin dominance taking a little bit of a move up here. However, we are still firmly below this resistance zone. So that is obviously good to see. We will have a quick look at these currencies as well. You can see the Japanese yen looking like it could have put in a top here, looking quite toppy. Euro USD as well. Obviously this is an inverted, so obviously the euro going up would be the equivalent of that chart going down. It's obviously flipped. But yeah, looking like it could have put in a bottom here. Gonna try and make a move. Lots and lots of work to do. However, it is at basically a trend line pretty much. If we just roughly kind of draw this on. Yeah, so we're at a level here basically where we could break above and then get some acceleration. Where the exact line goes, who knows, but we're at a point where we could then break through this and then have some acceleration to the upside. I mean, we'll look at gold. Yeah, gold still there or thereabouts. I mean, this 1840 to 1818 area was a very important level. I personally was surprised to see it lost. However, lost it was nonetheless. So I guess the chart didn't make it look like it wouldn't get lost. The chart actually did sort of telegraph the fact it was gonna break, and then got back tested and then broke down. But yeah, this is obviously going to be pretty important to break back through if gold is going to continue onwards and upwards. Oil, yeah, let's look at oil. People basically the bears, the know-it-all bears on crypto Twitter were like, oh, oil is going back up now. Yeah, okay, this is not even like a daily or weekly chart. This is a 4-hour chart, and it's barely moving back up, is it? And they're also on about the 10-year yield retracing as well, going, oh, look at that retracing. Just in there, and like, and what, how, where, just what, this little move from back down there up to about there. Yeah, okay, yeah, looking terrible. Yeah, looking full bullish already now. So yeah, there are a lot of bears about. Basically, they may prove to be right, but they've increasingly been more likely to be proven to be wrong. Odds obviously markets climb that wall of worry. So yeah, lots of bears about is good though, because obviously that is fuel to the upside as they eventually capitulate. Not necessarily have to capitulate on. No, I'm not just talking about positions to capitulate it, just on their view, and then they will just start buying again and then support the market. I mean, that's how bull and bear markets basically are. That's how they continue. That's why the trend is your friend, because of just dynamics like that. But yeah, oh look, we've got a 104 handle again. Nice to see. Let's see this breakdown. What else do I want to look at on here? Nah, nothing really. We'll just have a quick look at the food prices, which were looking pretty dire, and then now are practically fully retraced to what is just a pretty historical trend line here. So reversion to the mean. Bam, bam, there we go, back where we started. This is good to see, because this was worrying myself. Not that I was going to personally go hungry, but this was potentially going to cause problems for millions of people. Yeah, the only problem is obviously this is denominated in dollars, and dollars have been stronger, so it is still more expensive for people in struggling countries that short dollars. But it's not obviously near as bad as it was when it was up there. Soybeans not quite as much of the bear trend. And we'll just have a look at another barometer. Let's look at Dr. Copper. Dr. Copper, yeah, looking like it wants to try and put in a bottom here, but obviously lots of work to go there. Lots of work to go in Dr. Copper. Let's look at this on a daily. Just look at a bit of a longer time frame, but yeah, it's pretty much at an important level. It did bounce off, as you can see. The only real the first major level of support, I guess, we came into looking to try and bounce off that. Anyway, that's that. Yeah, nothing else to look on there. Quick look at stochastics then. How are they looking? 4 hour looking brilliant. Lots of room to run. 8 hour looking to turn back up. 10 hour has had a bit of a bullish reset, and then obviously held the upper half and looking to turn back up again. That's good. 12 hour potentially looking to roll over here though. Daily looking good here. 2 day looking good. 3 day looking good. 5 day looking very good. Weekly looking good. Well, I don't know why I keeps going ahead one. Bi-weekly, I mean, I can't say this is looking good because we are at a low level and we can obviously stay down here, turn back down, but nonetheless, it's good to see us moving up from a low level because it just means we've got the potential to have a nice run. And then monthly, obviously, not quite turned up yet, but generally speaking, we've been looking at the stochastic readers as generally okay. So let's get my charts back. Here we go. Come on. Oh, it's because we're on a monthly. That is why. So yeah, there we go. There we go. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is meeting a lot of resistance up here. I guess it just seemed that there is an ETH narrative going on. Bitcoin is struggling to move up when obviously a lot of it is getting caught with ETH and obviously also other altcoins as well. But yeah, nonetheless, keep grinding up, get towards this 30,000 level. It will be a good couple of months, and then yeah, I guess we reassess those inflation numbers. Do they come in worse? Do we get any problems in the winter? Do we get any geopolitical issues? Yeah, just plenty of black swans lurking around these corners, but yeah, in the meantime, let's see if we can make hay whilst the sun shines. So there we go, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.